Julio is going to be a polo player and has never thought of anything except for doing that. It's who he is and what he is, and it's been that way since he's been 3 years old. Memo's had such an amazing career that following the footsteps isn't just, it's not as easy as it would be for someone else. And we do everything as a family to help Memo's career and now Julio's, but it was hard not going to the field and not rooting for the same team. So.
In every sport, in every era, there's a defining individual that you can relate to demonstrable change in a sport, and you can think of who it is in baseball and football and soccer and basketball. And Memo really is that to polo. In the last 20 years of international polo, and especially American polo, Memo has probably changed for the better more aspects of the sport than any other player.
The Grasitas have been known in polo now for 55 years. Memo's father was a little like Memo in that he was very much to work hard, to understand the game, to plan ahead, his organization ability.
When I was a young kid, I always, with my father, we were always associated with horses, you know, thoroughbreds and polo ponies. And I played the game, but I never knew about the tradition and the history in the game, nor the names, nor the trajectory, nor the performance, nor the again, you know, I use this word, the mystic with the horse, you know. Polo is not only for individuals, you know, 4 players, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and but it's the horses and the people behind the scenes, you know. Such a great sport that you depend so much on the horse. I mean, I've been 10 goals for 20 years, and you just they always tell me, you know, say, what's your last thought before you go into a polo game? And your last thought is the horses, the well-being of the horses. The higher the level of polo, the more intense it becomes, you know, the more deeper and more mystic and the romantic and the spiritual and all the things that you can talk about the game, you know, it's a lot of it in the game.
When we started this year, they actually won their very first high goal tournament together, which was, I mean, it was a great feat, number one. The father played, I think, much harder to make sure that his son won his first tournament out. And Julio was just there learning and absorbing everything.
It means a great lot because my dad has taught me very well and to play there, and then he has succeeded in teaching me how to play, and it's really fun. It's very exciting, and I'm very fortunate to play with all the people that I've been playing with. I'm trying to make this my career. I'm trying to make this my life.
It's been something that's been evolving now for the last 14 years, Julio coming into his own. Julio started when he was 3 years old, and this is his first professional year on circuit. Julio had a very unique event happen to him this year. He's 14 years old. He was rated with a 0-goal handicap. And 3 weeks ago, right before we started to play the series of tournaments, Julio was bumped from 0 to 2. He went from being a little kid that if he made a mistake, it really didn't matter because he was 0 and he wasn't expected to make every play. Now that he's 2 goals, I think even his team is expecting a little bit more of him, and he's expecting a little bit more of himself, maybe putting a little bit more pressure, unnecessary at this time in his career.
A jump of 2 goals is quite a bit, and you rarely ever see that except in some of the young great stars as they're coming up. I can remember that Memo went up more than 1 goal in 1 year. Still, a 2 handicap jump in the middle of the season is really tough on a young player. There aren't many people ever playing polo as well as he does at age 15. Young Julio coming along will certainly be a star one day, for sure.
When I was a 10-year-old, I saw this film, Walt Disney, Stormy the Little Thoroughbred, and it was an eye-opener because the great true champions of the game are the horses, you know. And it's so difficult to find the great horse that it becomes fascinating. You know? I mean, anybody, any player can hit the ball, can play the game, but the really true champions of the game are the horses.